Welcome back to the Prosperous Feminine. I'm Julie Steelman. I'm so excited to be here with you today because we're going to talk about something that I recently discovered and am writing about in my upcoming book on women in money. It's going to be a disruptor, a game changer, and something you're going to want to get your hands on. Okay. And it's the hidden scarcity traps that drain your income, that make your bank account leaky, that have you going into debt and doing all the things, anything but financial freedom. Okay, because every woman on this planet is capable and has the resources and access to that to experience financial freedom. But we need to step into the awakening, right? Before we do that. And so here's the truth. Most women aren't kept small by lack of talent or lack of opportunity. They're kept small by these things I call scarcity traps, right? These are invisible patterns that whisper, you don't have enough, you can't be trusted with money, you have to prove yourself before you deserve it. And when you get it, you're not going to be a good steward of it, right? Anything in there, those kinds of things, right? And if you've been feeling like no matter how hard you work, or how much energy you put into something or how much you give, your income just isn't growing the way it should, whether you have a job or you're running your own business, right? And chances are you're caught up in one of these traps. And so we want to help you overcome that today, okay? So feel free to take some notes and really listen closely because these are subtle. So today I'm going to walk you through the three biggest scarcity traps that drain women's income and show you not just the inner shifts, but the practical actions you can take to start breaking free from this, right? Because mindset alone isn't enough anymore. We need a psycho-spiritual adjustment. We need a frequency shift and we need our nervous systems to get on board with these changes, right? We're complex beings in complex times. Mind shift isn't going to do it. We need the inner rewiring, the reconditioning of consciousness, and the outer moves that create real financial freedom. So the first trap is there's never enough, right? I didn't do enough. I didn't earn enough. It didn't make enough. There isn't enough time. There isn't enough money. I'm not enough in my relationship. Somehow there's less than playing out, right? Our inner critics and our insecurities and the things that we were taught in childhood all really resonate around this not enough pattern, right? And so the thought pattern around I'm not enough, there's not enough, is that we're always scanning for what's missing. I don't have enough clients. I don't have enough savings. I don't have enough time. So we're always looking for more and we start speeding up and we rush, right? And you can understand the impact that that has on your nervous system because I know you're smart, right? So it keeps the nervous system in a state of being on the high watch. And so we start to self-fulfill that there's never enough. And then we go faster and we spend more and we spin out more, right? And there's never enough. And somehow it's really hard to stop it. And so that's what keeps this pattern at play. And it can be really subtle. So anywhere you notice that you say things like there's not enough of X, Y, and Z, or I wish I had more of, you're perpetuating this scarcity trap. So the inner shift is to move from scarcity to seeing sufficiency. And we're always a little too far out ahead of ourselves. So we're in the future where the sufficiency doesn't quite exist yet, right? So we're either in the past or we're in the future. But if we're in the right now, we remind ourselves, I have what I need in this moment, and I am capable of creating more and more and more as my life goes on. So sufficiency happens in the present moment. Our nervous system actually calms down because we acknowledge and express gratitude for what is actually present instead of constantly writing ourselves about what isn't enough, right? And so here's the action step. I want you to create a sufficiency inventory. Write down 5 ways you are already resourced right now: skills, relationships, opportunities, friends, or even time, right? So a lack of clients can actually give you some time. Lack of clarity is you recalibrating and then you set yourself up to receive, right? And then ask, how can I leverage one of these resources to create more income this month? Okay, so I'll give you an example. If you're a coach with 5 past clients you haven't followed up with, that's sufficiency. reach out and invite them back into a conversation. If you have extra money sitting in the bank and you haven't actually made a plan about what to do with it, then look at that money and go, given my values and what I want, what's the next best action step? So not only do we believe in sufficiency and that we're resourced, but we act on it as if it's so. So the number two scarcity trap is I can't trust myself with money. This is really subtle, it's really ingrained, and it's really embedded in our DNA. And the thought pattern around that is that self-doubt every time money is involved. It sounds like, what if I invest in the wrong thing? What if I waste it? What if I fail? What if I lose it all? One of my very dearest girlfriends, who in no way, shape, or form has any scarcity around her financially, relationship wise, or how she's of service, or relationships, or her home, none. But she runs a story of being a broke bag lady. She has a visual picture in her mind that she will end up a broke bag lady no matter how much money there is, no matter how expensive of a house she lives in. This is a very real fear for her. So she's always like, even though I'm working and my practice is full, it's not enough because it'll never be enough for the broke bag lady future that I feel like I'm living into. Because she couldn't trust herself to not only continually make money, but also to be able to manage money well, right? Can you see how that plays out? And it kept her scared and running in fear. And I don't want that for you. So the inner shift is to move from self-doubt to self-trust. And here's the thing about self-trust: you earn it, but you decide it first, and then you keep letting yourself earn another piece of it every single moment of every single day. And so trust yourself that every money decision grows your wisdom. And thoughts like, and inner shifts like, I can back myself and learn as I go, that there's more than enough for me to keep learning and growing. And so that's what I'm going to do. So the action step that I want you to take is take one small, deliberate money action this week and stand behind it fully. Okay. So open a new savings account or an investing account and put $100 in it, put $50 in it, put $1,000 in it. Just do it. Okay. Raise your rate by 10% with your next new client or renewal. Especially renewals, we think, oh, they won't renew because they're used to that price. Honey, they already have an experience of you. They're way more likely to pay a higher rate because they already know how good you are and the results that they get, right? So we're going to bust that myth right now. Or pay off $200 worth of debt. Do something to show yourself that you're resourced. And the point isn't about the size of the action, it's the practice of building trust inside yourself and seeing that evidence build. Okay, that's the key to building self trust. Third scarcity trap: I have to prove myself, so I work harder, I give more, right? There's this feeling of like it's never enough. And these traps all bleed into each other, okay? Just so you know, right? And the thought pattern here is that believing that hustle equals worth, because there can never be enough hustle for you to believe in your worth, because the two have nothing to do with each other. Can you see the fallacy of setting it up that way? And so we think things like, if I push harder, they'll finally see my value. If I give more, they'll pay more. If I do more, I'll finally feel safe enough to ask for the right price or the right rate or the right salary, right? But the inner shift we need to make is from proving to belonging. Okay. This is powerful. Can you feel that? I'm going to say it again, is to move from proving to belonging. Tell yourself, my value isn't earned through exhaustion because I'm worthy enough now. And if I give up the rushing, I give up the giving, and I give up the overgiving and the proving and the undervaluing and the undercharging, then I stand in my worthiness and I practice from there. Okay. Here's the action step: audit your to-do list. Circle the top 3 tasks that actually generate income, client outreach, making offers, delivering results, right? Or if you have a job, What are the things that you can acknowledge yourself for in your next meeting with your boss that you can take credit for, right? Keep a little inventory on your phone of the things that you did, of the money that you saved the department, the money that you saved the company, ways that you helped out clients of the business, and take credit for that, okay? And then release one task this week that doesn't serve your worthiness or you knowing that you're worthy. Just let it go. This isn't about perfectionism. Think we get caught in the perfectionizing of all of this so that we feel safe and we feel valued and we feel worthy. And you already know, sister, at this point, that does not work because it would have worked in your 30s if that was true. Okay. So stop burning yourself out on that one. And what we need to do is prove to ourselves that income grows through focus, not through overwork. Okay? Big distinction. I told you these were subtle. So overworking, rushing, feeling like you don't have enough time, showing up at a meeting and inside you are angry and frustrated and outside you're being sticky, sweet, nice. That is a scarcity trap. That is a sign that you're in a scarcity trap. Any one of these or all of these or a combination of them, right? So here's the thing. Scarcity traps are really sneaky. They drain income, they drain success, they drain your sense of confidence without you even realizing it. But once you name them, the never enough, can't trust myself, have to prove myself, you actually take back your power. And when you pair the inner shifts with the outer moves, sufficiency plus leveraging resources, self trust plus small money actions, belonging plus focused income activities. That's when real financial freedom starts to open up. So ask yourself, which trap do you fall into most often? Which trap scares you because that's the one to go work with? And which action will take you this week to break free? Which one will help you actually have movement? All right. Because the truth is, you were never, ever meant to prove your worth through exhaustion or live in constant debt or doubt or feel like there's never enough. You were meant to prosper, and that shift starts now. Go ahead and follow me on Instagram at Julie Steelman because I share a lot more and I want to pull you in. Share this with your sisters so that we are prepared for the great wealth transfer that is happening so that we can step into the feminine financial awakening that is upon us, and that this is where you get the tools to create real feminine financial freedom. I'm Julie Steelman, and I cannot wait to help you stop leaking income and start living in a high level of abundance, thriving with prosperity at your doorstep. Until next time, stay fiercely feminine.